Where the fuck your mom's house at, huh?
I'm going back to my car.
Where the fuck your mom's house at, huh?
You just ripped my clothes off. Like, why are you doing this?
I'll rip them off.
Okay.
Fuck off, bro. Huh?
Okay.
You shut the fuck up, bro. Rip my clothes off, bro. Say that shit one more time, bro. I swear to God, I'll rip this shit off here. I'll kill you. On everything, I'll kill you. You think I give a fuck about you, bitch? I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about me. How the fuck I give a fuck about you?
Shalom.
Alright, Shalom, Shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, Hashem, Rakwadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles, great millstone. Shalom to my Akim, Wakwathium, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this found captivity. This is Brother Kawakub coming at you with no lesson, a quick lesson, hopefully a quick lesson, hopefully. Shalom to the speckled bird that may look like the other nations, but are actually Yasharala. Today, I want to go into this lesson, which you see the Eve, or what appears to be an Eve, all right, basically talking and saying how this Edomite dude was ripping her clothes off, or assumably to kind of, I guess, force her. That's basically the only implication, but I'm not going to say definitively because I wasn't there, and clearly the dude is taking her home, so we don't know what happened. We don't know exactly what happened unless she gave the rest of the thing in the rest of her stuff, which maybe she did, maybe she didn't. If I don't know how to find it, so I can't. It's just too much work for me to type it in Google and then type it in the stuff. So we're just gonna go off of what we do see. Aside from that, this is one of the reasons, a perfect opportunity for me to not only teach this, Ezekiel chapter 35 verse 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Basically, one thing is that while any person that looks like a so-called Edomite, or any person that looks like a so-called Israelite, can be an Israelite, but it's not based off of appearance, but more so off of spirit. All right, like, does their spirit resonate with Edomite things, or does their spirit resonate with spiritual things, or the Lord Yahweh? That's basically the thing. That's an indicator, all right, rather than someone's appearance. So we're not supposed to be looking off of things based off of appearance, but more so off of the spirit. Now, I'm led to believe, based off this guy's attitude or his behavior, that he is in fact an Edomite. I'm just going to go off of that assumption. I'm gonna just say, yeah, I think that he is definitely an Edomite, based off of that demeanor. All right, so obviously I could be wrong, sure, fine, whatever, and I don't know what led up to all that stuff, but basically the thing here is that for specifically Edomites, when it comes to how they handle stuff, you do not want to be around these types of people because of how just evil and wicked that they can be. Let's actually get that, because I don't want to. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to get into that quickly. What was it? Yes, Hebrews 12. Hebrews 12 verse 16, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. Basically, Esau is the most profane person. He's the most wicked. All right. This is basically how he gets down. So he doesn't care about anything spiritual. He cares about the carnal side of things. All right. Now also, Sirach chapter 12 verse 10, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusts, so is his wickedness. That's another thing where, when he speaks, as a matter of fact, let's just get that instead. Well, yeah, basically whenever he tries to say that, oh yeah, I care about you, or this, that, and the third, obviously it is a trap. It's obviously there's obviously wickedness, especially with women like this, because that reminds me of this one story I heard when this it was on TikTok. This one Eve had gotten, I think she had kids with another man, an Israelite man, I think, and there was an Edomite dude that had gotten with her, and she was saying, they were posting TikTok saying that the Edomite man was taking care of her, but it came out somehow that the Edomite man wasn't taking care of her. She was doing all the work. She was working, doing all that stuff, while the Edomite man was just staying at home and I think not taking care of the kids because the kids were not his. He was just sitting there and letting the woman do all the stuff while he got to be lazy and stuff like that. But the main issue with that was how they were all pushing this narrative saying that black men are lazy and black men don't do anything, while at the same time the woman was with a Edomite man that was being lazy and pushing out all the irony in that freaking hypocritical statement. All right, so that was basically something that I definitely want to include into this. All right, also what was it? Oh yeah, perfect. Isaiah chapter 30 verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, that take that cover with a covering, that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt, and have not, Egypt is spiritually Babylon, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Basically trusting in this system, all right, rather than trusting in YAHAWAH, rather than trusting or going after the men of the Lord. And this is where you have that right now, where these men, all right, these men, quote unquote men, these non-men of the Lord are going to be worthless to them. All right. Well, what it's Isaiah. Fuck it. You know what? This might be turned out to be longer than I thought, but we're gonna run with it. Isaiah 65 verse 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahawah: Behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. And this is in reference to the up and coming Jacob's trouble. All right. Isaiah 13 verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. And another two things. Isaiah 4 verse 1. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel, only let us be called by thy name, to take away our reproach. So basically, the reason why I brought all three of these out is because one, the Lord's servants, the men of the Lord, are going to be taken care of. They're going to have food, drink, and shelter and all that stuff. They're going to be rejoicing in that in the time of trouble. All right. But the thing is that they are also going to be scarce. A proper servant of Yahawadah that actually did everything that the Lord wanted diligently, that they're going to be very scarce. And on top of that, the women are going, or women in general, either Israelite women or heathen women as well, they're going to be searching for these men of the Lord specifically for protection. Now, the reason about that is, let's get this. This is the reason why, and the reason why I keep on coming to this. Come to this multiple times, ever since. All right, but the reason why I come back to this so many times is because his dream perfectly encapsulates both, where he talks about the war, that all the men are going to die, the so-called men, quote unquote men, which they're not actually men. Well, yet they are literally men, physically men, as in they have all the equipment and whatnot. But the thing about that is that they don't act like men. That's what makes them not actually quote unquote men. All right. So, but the thing is that the Lord is going to put this proper spirit of what a man is on the men of the Lord, more specifically his servants, all right, in order to want to protect and in order to actually be capable of protecting. All right. So that's why you have this video. I'm not going to link it because I put it so many times. All right. Maybe I will link it. Maybe I won't. But yeah, you're going to have so many men, that are going to be not actually men. They're going to be going to that are going to be led to their deaths. All right, whereas the men of the Lord are going to be capable and they're going to be desired. And as this guy said in his dream, a bunch of women, they were like, please, I will be your third wife. I'll be your not third wife. I'll be your seventh wife and stuff like that. Where they were saying they were basically forfeiting all of their dignity and self-respect just to say, I want to be with you. I want you to take me as whatever. I'll do whatever you want. Yeah, and that's what he these are his words, not mine. These are his words. This is what he said. He said that they were doing stuff. They were offering to do stuff that they would never do, and a bunch of the men, all right, were rejecting them completely. It did not matter. Some of them were taking them. Some of them were just rejecting them, saying, I do not want you. I cannot afford you, X, Y, and Z, and stuff like that. Where we're gonna get to that time very soon, where these women are just going to be left for dead. All right. Judges chapter 10 verse 14. Go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. Where that's the thing where you have to understand that when it comes to what is a god, quote unquote. God is basically like that thing, the thing you spend where you spend your most time in, kinda, yeah, kinda not, but also like that number one thing, your priority, all right, your number one priority in the sense of I think I'm only gonna serve Edomite men, like with this whole, especially with this whole what's that dude's name, Charlie Brown. Okay, the Charlie Brown dude. All right. Basically, a lot of people have been kind of like amplifying themselves and wanting to be in that type of spirit. All right, and they're leading themselves to destruction. In all honesty. All right. Continuing on. Let's get this. Oh. Deuteronomy chapter 30 verse 7, and the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee. So initially, us Israelite men, we are the ones that have to deal with these curses of our women turning against us and stuff like that. But now we're seeing the change. We're starting to see how, and also I've seen lots of videos where white women have been saying, oh yeah, I really want a black man, stuff like that. Black men are this, that, and the third. They're more family oriented, X, Y, and Z, and stuff like that. Oh, even Chinese women, I've heard a few stories on some Chinese women saying X, Y, and Z about black men, stuff like that, where now there is that kind of divide and that change in tune, in attitude, where it is slowly, it's all through the spirit. I think that's the best way to put it, where spiritually, I think people may not be so aware. Like, we are able to see stuff like, okay, we see these prophecies and stuff like that. We see that we're getting closer and closer to the end, MOTB and all that. But the thing is that the kind of a bit of the attitude and bit of the minds of the people, the transition from, oh yeah, Esau's the best, to, oh yeah, Jake is the best, that's kind of been the thing that kind of symbolizes, like, okay, you know what, we're drawing closer. And we see, when we measure the time, we measure the end by stuff like this, because we know the prophecies of how, as I just showed you, Isaiah 65, Isaiah 13, and Isaiah 4, where basically the men of the Lord are going to be the precious men that women are going to be seeking after. And the men of the Lord, that doesn't necessarily mean so-called black men, by the way. It is so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Americans, as well as whatever speckled bird that there may be, because of course there are brothers, all right, that may look like the other nations. Let's say, for example, Edomites, or they may look Chinese. They might have been blessed with certain things, even though they were taught or grew up in a seemingly heathenistic background. But it doesn't change the fact that their spirit still resonates with this truth, or still resonates with their actual ethnicity being that of an Israelite man. All right, so they're going to and that's basically the thing. Even with people that grew up, that's that whole nature versus nurture thing. Even in situations where people grow up in certain ways, they still go against what they were taught. They still go against what they were taught simply because, oh well, this is not what my spirit wants. My spirit wants this, so I'm gonna go after this. All right, I'm gonna go after that. Anyway, let me see if I can find out. Continue. Oh yeah, and another thing with this whole thing, I think this is a perfect way to end it off. Yeah, let's end off with this. Numbers chapter 1 verse 18, and they assembled all their congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of their names, from 20 years old and upwards by their polls. Basically, you are when you, let's say you want to have a child. If you are a man, you have a child with any woman, be it an Israelite woman, a heathen woman, Edomite woman, Ishmaelite woman, whatever. That child, no matter what the woman looks like, no matter what the woman is, all right, even if that woman is not 100% confirmed a non-Israelite, all right, that child that you have with that woman is going to be an Israelite. Now, on the other side, if you are 1,000% confirmed a so-called black woman or an Israelite, all right, and you have a child with a heathen, all right, doesn't matter who or what it is, that child's definitely going to come out to be whatever heathen that you choose to lay with, all right, and that is just oh my God, the worst time. Slovakia. Okay, anyway, as I was saying, it does not matter if you are an Israelite woman and you get with a non-heathen, a non-Israelite man, that child, it does not matter what you are. It doesn't matter if you're 1,000% Israelite. That child is not going to become. That child is not an Israelite. It doesn't matter if they come out looking like a so-called black man or Hispanic or whatever. That child is, in fact, whatever nation you chose to be with. Now, in addition to that, let's also get this. Numbers chapter 36, verse 6. Verse 6. This is a thing which the Lord doeth command concerning the daughters of Zelophehad, saying, let them marry to whom they think best, but only to the family of the tribe of their father shall they marry. Basically, you have to marry within your tribe, and this is only in regards to the kingdom, because when it comes to now, all right, I'll say more specifically now, for women here, we don't have any, or people here, I guess, we don't have any lasting inheritance. Okay, the things that we have, it's really only temporary. So it's not you don't, like, say for example, if I have a daughter, all right, if I only have a daughter, all right, and I have to give inheritance, all right, to said daughter after I pass away, that daughter has to marry another Judite because I'm a Judite, all right, rather than just marrying an Ephraimite because she wants to, or she found an Ephraimite dude or whatever and stuff like that. So, but the thing is that she doesn't have to worry about that now because in this society we don't really have any of that type of stuff. All right, so, but at the same time, you know, one thing that I really never mind. I'll just rescind that statement that I was about to say. But anyway, yeah, basically, inheritance. If you marry, if as a woman, if you marry, if as an Israelite woman, if you marry a heathen like an Edomite or whatever, then you're giving away your inheritance. You're giving away the wealth of the Israelites to an Edomite or a freaking Moabite or an Ishmaelite or whatever the fuck. Okay, so that's why, you know, you can't be. We cannot do that. You're not even allowed to do that. You're not even allowed to do that with other tribes. All right, in practice, in proper practice. But now, like, even more so, like, you're basically pushing your child to not be, to number one, not be an Israelite, and number two, learn like wickedness. All right. Continuing on. But of course, I don't think I need to. I would prefer not to, so I'm not going to. But yeah, an Israelite man can get with any woman because that's going to be his kid regardless. All right. Anyway, verse 8. No, that's basically it. So yeah, and to end off, I don't know if I read this or not, but Ezekiel chapter 35 verse 5, because I has had perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time of their iniquity. And also I want to get this once again. I think is Sirach chapter 12 verse 10. Never trust an enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. And that's basically over here where you have this dude.
Okay.
Fuck on, huh?
Okay.
Who has this perpetual hatred, this never-ending hatred, and you know, for things to have gotten to that point, you know, it goes to show a lot. All right, it goes to show a lot that, you know, there was some courtship and stuff like that, talking where he was nice, he seemed like a good person to her. All right, and then lo and behold, now she sees his true colors and stuff like that, where this dude is damn near thinking about crashing out and is, you know, deleting himself just to delete her as well, because that's kind of what it seemed like based on how he was talking. Like these dudes are fucking unstable. But also, that's also what we're going to be probably seeing during Jacob's trouble, especially when things just get completely out of whack. And I'm waiting for that. All right, Yahawadah happens soon, because I want to see that now. Anyway, with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I'm going to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, 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 double honor to the elders and apostles, great millstone, above all, and shalom.